And now some of the Coldwater High School varsity football team. 1-2 overall, 1-1 in the Twin Valley, and some more passing by right now, along with the freshman class float. The theme for this year's homecoming 1998 edition is music genres, and they have chosen oldies as their theme, and sounds very faint. A classic car, and here comes the freshman portion of the homecoming court, Lindsay Warner and Andy Post, and Erica Moyer and Lance Kibolowski. I see how they're splitting it up now. Those were freshman football players that just went by us. And some more members of the JV reserve football squad alongside the sophomore float. They have chosen alternative music as their theme. There's no alternative. Win tonight. Trailing behind them, the sophomore court, Carrie Gapke and Nate Davenport in the Chrysler. And in the Ford Fairlane, it's Amanda Labadie and Dustin Rose. Someone tailing along. Disco Fever, the theme of the junior float. Yes, it's a big old celebration with some of the junior representatives of the varsity football team riding behind in the nice-looking silver Ford F-150. Ah, yes, disco. Now here comes the junior court. Nicole Anderson and Ben Lyon in the Malibu. And in the Chrysler, the late model Chrysler, we have Jenny Petsko and Corey Parker. The best sounding sound system of the entire parade passing through. It's the senior float. The class of '99 has chosen country as their theme. Yes, they all have gone country. That's the way they like it. Now here comes the senior court. The 5 couples competing for the coveted title of Homecoming King and Queen. Couple number 1, Heidi Flegel rather, and Steve Parker. I don't see Steve. He was probably riding on the football float. Andrea Moyer and Randy Lowndes. Is that a Miata? I do believe so. Katie Olmstead and Matt Kokenis. Katie Olmstead without Matt Kokenis, I should say. Polly Stevens and Travis Roby. And last and certainly not least, in the Chrysler LeBaron, Sarah Zimmer and Jaxie Bellsborough, all competing for the title of Homecoming King and Queen. Stay tuned next. Jim Whelan, Doug Johnson with a call of the Coldwater Albion homecoming football game, and stick around for halftime where we'll have the announcement of the Homecoming King and Queen. For Greg Hayes behind their camera tonight, this is Sean Watson. Stay tuned. Cardinal football is next.
Presents the Coldwater High School Cardinal Marching Band. With Flag Captain Nicole Anderson and Flag Lieutenant Becky Shaw. Drum majors for 1998 are senior Lisa Kontowski and junior Cody Rocky. Please join the salute the Cardinals with the Coldwater High School loyalty. We would now like to welcome our guests from Albion. The Legg Middle School 7th and 8th grade bands will join the high school band for our pregame show. And now, the Legg Middle School Marching Band. We will now spotlight the 225 plus members of our CHS and LMS bands with the title song from the 1960s movie Magnificent Seven. 300 high school and middle school choir members, along with a select number of members from the Cardinal Marching Band, under the direction of Ms. Kelly Falls and Mr. Dan Vukamirovich, in the performance of our national anthem.
For homecoming 1998. Kick comes down the middle, and it's at the 20, taken by one of the upmen for the Wildcats. Breaks some tackles out to the 35, out to about the 38-yard line. That's where the Wildcats will set up 1st and 10 as we are underway.
Danon Reed with the return on that. Good field position for the Wildcats to start out with at the 38-yard line, just shy of the 38.
And we've got a new sound system here at Cardinal Field, and you can tell that because I thought I had the crowd mic turned up, and I turned it off, and we're still hearing it very clearly. So the Wildcats come out. Again, 1st and 10. We're just underway. The ball on their own, the 37-yard line, wing tier, full house backfield, what you want to call it for the Wildcats. And this will be a run. They try to find a little room on the left side. Nobody there, and a host of Cardinal tacklers are there to swarm.
Led by Anthony is one of them, 69.
I'll see Matt Shook also in on the tackle for the Cardinals. A short gain, actually a loss as they move the down marker back about a half yard. And it is a loss, so we'll call it 2nd and 11.
It's very, very much of a key for Coldwater to not to let them get outside with their good speed they have.
Cardinals with a 5-2 defense to open up. There's a fumble on the snap. It's down on the ground. The quarterback, Miller, tried to recover, but it looks like the center for the Wildcats will recover.
Number 80, number 20, running back.
Okay, that's Hanna. So it was Hanna. So he was up close enough to the line of scrimmage to recover. So a shaky start here on the offense for the Wildcats, which is not what they want. 0-3 coming in here. They wanted to get something going early. They still have a chance. 3rd and 11 on their own 36. We're just underway. Miller up to the line of scrimmage. 1 fake, 2 fakes. He rolls out to his left-hander, gets around the corner, and tackled. A nice tackle on the far side for the Cardinals. And saving that tackle was Casey Stevens, number 70.
Brandon Taggart, is he 6? Did they change numbers on us?
Well, they might have. We'll check on that. And Casey is not a starter, so it's probably.
Yeah, it's 70 because Taggart is 61 and Casey Stevens is 70 then.
Okay, so we'll switch that off. Brandon Taggart with the tackle, but
good pursuit.
Well, you know, since they didn't have any passes, that's the first time we had to notice that Miller, the quarterback for Albion, is a lefty, and he got around the corner, but he was tackled. So 4 and out for the Wildcats. A nice high punt. It's going to come down to Howard at his 25. Cuts back here to the near side, has a blocker, 30,
Reed.
35, another block, cuts through 40, 45, out to midfield. An outstanding return by Doug Howard gets the Cardinals great field position. They'll start out at midfield. No score here in the early going. 10:31 remaining here in the first quarter.
Yeah, it was just a floater kick, and they had a return left, even though the ball was on the right-hand side outside of the hash mark. And he just come across. We got a couple of peel-off blocks and just did a nice job, cut it up, and got it to the into Albion territory, and Albion's taking a timeout.
Cardinals come out now. 1st and 10, and they are actually inside Albion territory, just across the midfield line. Cardinals come out with a full house backfield. Brian Partial up to the line of scrimmage.
Everything starts. I mean, he normally comes up with something up the middle.
They'll come here to the near side, and it's going to be Travis with the carry. And, excuse me, Jarvis. I want to call him Travis sometimes. Jarvis, Travis. It's Jarvis with the carry, and he's down to the Albion 47-yard line.
That's different because normally they come with something up the middle between guard and center, and that time they faked that and then came with Jarvis to the outside. Come back with something inside probably.
So Jarvis, Reed, Howard in the starting backfield for the Cardinals on the 2nd and 8.
52 defense with a linebacker way up in there.
This will be a running play up the middle. Inside the 42, down to about the 41 for Rusty Reed. It'll set up 3rd and short for the Cardinals. They need to get just inside the 40-yard line to pick up a first down.
Tackled by Travis Fisher, a 5'10", 185-pound linebacker. But they got 5 downmen, and then they bring up a linebacker right up next to the nose guard, and he can decide whether he's going to blitz or fall off. That time he came, and we went to the opposite side and picked up 7 big ones.
Jarvis comes out, Todd Porter replacing him. Porter on the far side of the full house backfield for the Cardinals on this 3rd and 3. Marshall fakes twice. He'll go into the line to Howard, and he breaks tackles again inside the 35, down to the 30. So strong running showed by Doug Howard on the punt return, and now on this run that picks up the first down for the Cardinals inside the 30-yard line.
Well, that was a strong run by Doug Howard. Both hands on the ball, up the middle, off right tackle, and then began to cut back against the grain. Poor tackling by Albion, giving the Cards the initial first down.
9:06 and counting left here in the first quarter. No score. Cardinals stop the Wildcats on their first offensive possession, 4 and out. Cardinals again 1st and 10 on the Albion 29-yard line. And it's going to be a handoff on the left side.
Not much there.
A couple of yards that time for Reed. And he gets up, helped up by one of the Albion players, number 88. That's Clint Triffett on the tackle, and he does stand out there. Doug 6'2" and 210, the tallest player, looks like, on the Albion defense, and he also calls defensive signals for the Wildcats.
Yeah, it looks like he plays this right defensive end, and he's a good-sized fella. Everything right now is, pretty deliberate. We haven't done anything fancy. Albion's got the 11 guys inside of 6 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Well, maybe look for this time for Partial maybe to fake into one of the linebackers and run it himself. A long count for Partial. But it's going to be a run here to the near side, and it's going to be Jarvis. Breaks one tackle, cuts back inside, spins around, still on his feet, inside the 20 down to about the 17-yard line. So Jarvis showing some strength that time, ripping away from a couple of tackles.
That's one thing Jarvis has got to do, is he's got to make sure that he doesn't always continually to flow outside. He needs to cut back a little bit and then get to the outside if he can beat that guy that's contained out there. And that time he did that. And Chris did a nice job and turned it upfield for the first down.
Pickup of about 7 Cardinals on the Albion 18-yard line. It's been all Coldwater here in the early going. No score. He was out of bounds on that, so the clock stops. 8:02 left here in the first quarter. Homecoming 1998 at Cardinal Field. Everything on the ground so far for the Cardinals. This time it's going to be Howard. A nice fake to one back, and then he cuts back on the right side, down inside the 15, down to about the 12-yard line.
They pull a guard to come this way like it's a coming near side, but then they'll come back with the fullback leading through and give the ball to Howard. And that's the same play that he picked up the big yardage when he cut it back against the grain, but picked up 6 that time. Anything misdirection, because Albion's coming hard, they could bust one.
Wildcat defense vulnerable so far to the Cardinal running attack. 2nd and 5. Coldwater on the Albion 13-yard line. Coldwater trying to score first here tonight.
Reed.
Partial hands to Reed. Hits the right side through a hole. Down inside the 10. Down to about the 8-yard line.
Dennis Jackson on the stop. I think he got enough to make the first down. Or looks like they're going to measure.
Dennis Jackson, a 6 foot, 165-pound junior for the Wildcats. And lots of juniors. No sophomores on this small roster it is for the Wildcats, but lots of juniors, and as we said, all of that offensive backfield juniors, so the Albion Wildcats may be pointing to next year. And
they have no freshman team.
That's right, just a JV game last night, which was won by Coldwater. Measurement for the first down, and it looks to be just good enough. Maybe by a couple inches. So the Cardinals with their third first down on this drive, their first opening possession of the game, and it helped that Coldwater was able to start at midfield on the outstanding punt return by Doug Howard. Down to 7:12 left here now in the first quarter. Cardinals break the huddle. Up to the line of scrimmage they come. Same formation, nothing fancy here. Marshall looking over the defense. Takes a couple of times, and it's going to be to Howard on the right side. Inside the 10, down to about the 4, maybe the 3-yard line.
Well, I tell you what, they're coming so hard again. If you're right, you mentioned it a while ago, and that's with Marshall pulling the ball out and taking it in. He could have gone either way that time because all the Albion people sucked right into the middle.
Now Porter once again comes in. Todd Porter to replace Chris Jarvis as the Cardinals second and goal. The ball on about the 3-yard line.
They're packed in there.
Well, they sure are. It's still open there. And it's going to be a handoff into the right side of the line. Could be close to the end zone as they unpile. Still short with Howard trying to punch in on the right side, and he's last to get up there from the bottom of the pile, and they're going to spot it. Boy, got to be just an inch from that goal line. Coldwater trying to get on the board here first.
They come right back with the same play and walk it in.
So the Wildcats all bunched up there at the line of scrimmage. Porter stays in the game for the Cardinals. Maybe Marshall will take it in for a quarterback sneak. Let's see, it's that close. And it will be a quarterback sneak try. He stood up right at the line of scrimmage, tries to move on the right side of the line, and he's in.
So he got in because Porter rammed him in the back to drive him in there.
Cardinals break out of the huddle. Chris Jarvis now back in that backfield for Porter. Marshall has him set down. And the give is to Jarvis here on the near side, and he'll get to the corner with his speed, and he does. Right in the corner for the 2 points.
So all it was just a power sweep to the left, and Jarvis with his speed went to the corner and picked up the 2-point conversion.
Don't know how the game's going to go, so it's important to get those conversions when you can, and the Cardinals do. Our score here, Coldwater 8, Albion nothing. This Doug Howard gets ready to kick off. Dennis Jackson, the deep man in the middle for the Wildcats. And this one comes down the middle, end over end. Jackson lets it hops once, 10, 15, 25, spins around, and then he's pulled down. That was right at the 25 where he's...
Ziegler got him when he spun. He spun standing up, and Zig just took him right down. Big hit.
So that gets the message to Jackson. Ziegler, one of the starters on defense for Cardinal, one of the starting linebackers for the Cardinals, who shut down Albion. Very shaky first offensive series for the Wildcats. No gain, and then they fumbled one, and then they tried to get around the end of the quarterback, a lefty, Nick Miller, and he was punched out of bounds, and so the Cardinals took over, and then they scored the touchdown. So the Wildcats now come out with their second series, and that sweep goes nowhere but the other direction. There's Matt Shook. He gets up. Also, Jake Leonard in the area for the tackle for the Cardinals.
And Gleason, I believe. Yeah, 62. Aaron Gleason was the first guy there, and then Shook, and then
Leonard.
Leonard, right. They were a little different lineup that time. They weren't in the full T. They were in a 2 down with a pitchback right behind the fullback, and went nowhere.
That's a loss of 6 on that, so 2nd and 16 for the Wildcats, and they try and run something up the middle, and it just stuffed up there. No room at all.
I guarantee you Anthony will be in on that one along with Gleason in the middle.
Rusty Reed also gets off the bottom of the pile.
Reed, the linebacker.
So the Wildcats 0-3, and they're going to look to maybe start out 0-2 as far as offensive series here tonight. 4:26 and counting. Fast-moving first quarter. Everything basically on the ground here tonight so far for these two teams. Wildcats now they're back in the standard full house backfield. Miller up to the line of scrimmage. Fakes a couple of times. Rolls here to the near side. Gets a pass downfield, and intended receiver was well over his head, and that intended receiver number 18 that I don't have on my roster.
I think it was 19, but we don't have a 19 on her either, do we?
Either one. So whoever the
number 19.
Number 19 incomplete, but that That pass by Miller, he was under some pressure, and he just let it go. The Cardinals had good coverage on that pass, so the Wildcats are going to have to punt it away again. Back to punt will be Dannon Reed, Rusty Reed, and Doug Howard. Back at about midfield to take the punt for the Cardinals. 4:11 left here in the quarter. Kind of a wobbler, a low kick, and the Cardinals let it go. Maybe one of them could have picked it up. It bounced at about the 40-yard line, takes a Wildcat bounce inside the 30, all the way back to about the 26. So a fortunate bounce for the Wildcats. Jarvis comes out, and Portal will again be back in the backfield for the Cardinals. 1st and 10, the ball on their own 27-yard line. Coldwater up 8-0, exactly 4 minutes left here in the first quarter. The Cardinals on the far hash mark. And this will be a running play. Breaking some tackles, coming back to the middle of the field. Quarterback keeper, 40, 45, 50, coming here to the near sidelines. Finally caught down at the Albion 42-yard line. And coming from behind to make that tackle for the Wildcats was Dannon Reed. Those again now inside Albion territory at the Wildcat 42-yard line. They're on the move.
That's better than a 30-yard pickup.
Looking over the defense. Give to Jarvis, right side, has a hole, has some speed. 40, 35, 30, 25. Out at about the 21-yard line. And you know what I like about Jarvis's running style that we've seen so far? I haven't seen him break loose in the open field where he can maybe make some moves, but he's just using his speed. He's not trying to deke the defensive player too much. Realizes that speed is to his advantage, and he just goes on a straight line.
That would have been a touchdown, but they had a safety. They've been packing everybody in there, but they keep number 2, Dannon Reed, back there, and if it weren't for Reed, Jarvis would have had a 37-yard touchdown right there.
So the Cardinals once again look to be knocking on the door. 1st and 10 on the Albion 22-yard line. It's going to be a hand up to the middle.
Rusty.
20 down to about the 17-yard line for Reed.
I tell you, they seem to be the first. They're going right this time, but the first series, they're running towards Shook the end, and then they've got Anthony the tackle, and I believe Renner is the guard on that side. This series, they're going to the right.
Yeah, you called him right. But the Cardinals now come out second and about 4. They're on the Albion 17-yard line. This time it'll go to Howard. As he starts out right and comes back to the middle, gets down to about the 15. So it'll set up 3rd down. It's about the longest the Cardinals have had to go for a first down, and it's still not very long. 3rd and about 3 as the play comes in from Jarvis on the sidelines. Porter checks out. It's been all Coldwater here in the early going. 2:27 and counting left here in the first quarter. The Cardinals up by a score of 8-0. Albion's gone 4 and out in both of its offensive possessions.
Be interesting to see how much Matt Kokinas can go tonight, because last week we talked about him coming off the field, and I talked to him, and he said, yeah, he had a pulled muscle, and it's feeling pretty good right now, but you just never know about those.
And it was Jarvis looking for a hole here on the left side, and a pretty good tackle by the Wildcats, and we'll have to see what kind of mark the Cardinals get, and it may be just a little bit short of the first down.
Yeah, it's going to be 4th and about a half a yard, maybe a little better than a yard.
4-down territory for sure for the Cardinals, the way they've been able to dominate the offensive line and move the ball here tonight. 4th and a little under a yard to go for Coldwater.
Well, they took out Dannon Reed, so they're going to pack it in there again. This might be one of those times where you just give it in the middle and fake it and then just take it around the outside and score.
Marshall up to the line of scrimmage. We'll see what he does, hands off or keeps. It's going to be a handoff, right side, and it's going to be first down for Coldwater inside the 10, down to about the 8, maybe the 7-yard line for the Cardinals to pick up the first down is Howard.
Right.
Cardinals showing their athleticism and quickness here, Doug, because size-wise, there's not that much difference between the two teams you're seeing out there on the field tonight.
The basic thing is that, the fundamentals are there.
1st and goal for the Cardinals at the 9-yard line. Our first flag of the night as Parshall carries it out anyway, and he's into the end zone, and we'll wait and see what the flag is. I'm going to look for maybe a motion call or offsides against Coldwater.
By him. It's more than likely it's a motion. The head official in the backfield threw the flag, so maybe somebody moved a little bit too soon.
But still smart for Brian Parshall to run it out.
Right. You just never know.
And the official coming over to Coach Jamie Spray here on the near side to explain what that call was about. We haven't got the official signal yet from the referee.
It's got to be motion.
Comes with 55 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Yeah, illegal motion, illegal shift or motion.
And we've seen Brian Parshall's confidence just grow each game, and we're seeing a little more savvy, a little more polish out there tonight from the senior quarterback. First and goal again from the 14. Couple of fakes into the line, pass wide open in the end zone. If he can get the ball there to Howard, and it's just too low down to the ground. He tried to trap it here on the left side of the end zone, right? So it'll be second and goal from the 14-yard line. Full house backfield still for the Cardinals, and this will be a run on the right side. Parshall with the keep, excuse me, and he gets inside the 10 down to about the 7. So Rusty Reed fakes into the middle, and then Parshall goes to the far side. I wasn't sure whether he had the ball or maybe tossed or gave it to Howard, but it's Parshall with the keep. Parshall, a busy quarterback here in the early going. He has the touchdown, and he also had the long run that helped set up the Cardinal touchdown run. And we're at third and goal again from the 14, counting off the final seconds here of the first quarter with the Cardinals up 8-0 on homecoming night.
I thought he might pitch the ball that time. He probably should have pitched it, but he kept it and picked up a few yards.
So on this third down and goal, Parshall fakes into the line. He's under pressure, and he's going to be sacked and thrown for a big loss as that one develops slowly.
That's the big linebacker, Trippett, or the defensive end.
So it looked like a fake draw, and then Parshall was going to roll out for a pass, but nothing doing there as Trippett was right in on top of Parshall. That's going to bring the first quarter to an end here at Cardinal Field. Our score, the Cardinals 8, Albion nothing. We're ready to get the second quarter underway here at Cardinal Field. The Cardinals face a fourth and goal from the 15-yard line. They're going to go for it. Fourth and goal. They're ahead by a score of 8-0. Brian Parshall up to the line of scrimmage. Full house backfield for the Cardinals. Porter's in there for Jarvis, and the Cardinals move on the left side of the line. Another flag goes down. So a little bit of out of sync right now, the Cardinals are. So the Cardinals with no problem at all moving the ball here tonight, scoring that first touchdown, stopping Albion twice. But on this particular drive, penalties here slowing them down a little bit. Now it's fourth and goal. The ball back on the 20-yard line. All or nothing here for the Cardinals on fourth down. Parshall fakes into the line, has time to pass, but he's got to get rid of it, and he doesn't, and he's hit from behind as just his arm was coming forward, and it's once again Trippett putting on the pressure. And so the Wildcats now will see if they can get something untracked on offense. Absolutely nothing working at all on the offense for the Wildcats so far here tonight. 11:53 left here in the first half. This will be a run. Try to find some room on the left side. Up the middle. That was one of the good fakes as one of the running backs was tackled by the Cardinals out on the far side. That run went up the middle for a gain of maybe a yard at best.
Gleason and Stevens were there, and also along with Ziegler.
Ball started at 22.
A warm one here tonight so far at Cardinal Field, but super for the fans on this September 25th. Wildcats come out 2nd and 9 on their own 22. This will be Miller.
No, I thought he had it. He had the full. Yeah, he was taking out the fake, all right.
And
Reed wasn't faked out.
And with the carry, new running back in there, number 36 for the Wildcats, and that's Ben Buskirk, 6 foot, 165-pound senior with the carry that time for Albion. So the Wildcats in a familiar position that they faced here tonight, 3rd and long on their own 24-yard line.
Boy, they've got to go to the outside because there is nothing in that middle right now.
Well, Miller almost got outside for a first down on the opening possession for the Wildcats. Came up about 3 yards short. He's up to the line of scrimmage now. And it's going to be Miller with the pitch back to the deep back. Hanna breaks a couple of tackles, gets to the outside with some speed, but he's going to be stopped short of the first down as he approaches the 30-yard line.
Fourth down, they're dropping back to punt, and we're sending Howard and Reed deep. Look at how spread this baby is.
Deep for them is at about midfield. This punt, wobbly but high. It's going to come down for a bounce again. Cardinals get away from it as it bounces at about the 43, and that's where it's going to be down for the Wildcats. So nothing working tonight for Albion. Coldwater with excellent field position each time they've had the ball here tonight. They took the one punt back to the 40 inside the midfield line, or the run back by Howard, and the opening kickoff. Also, the Cardinals were able to bring back in good possession. So once again, they are starting out great field position. They're on their own 44 as they start out 1st and 10. Cardinals in the lead 8-0, 10:24 left here in the first half. Wildcats, they bunching up on that defense once again. Up close. Marshall gives the handoff, middle of the line. Reed breaks free, 50. 45, down to about the 40. Big yardage on first down for Rusty Reed. Cardinals on the Albion 38-yard line. Only touchdown of the night, the 1-yard quarterback keeper by Brian Parshall. He's up to the line of scrimmage with the Cardinals, and it's going to go to Reed again. Pile drives into the line of scrimmage, moves through 35, 30, down to about the 28 of Albion. Now this might be
no doubt who's winning the line of scrimmage right now. I mean, they've just done an excellent job.
An offensive line for the Cardinals again. Taggart at center. Your guards, Renner and Parker. The tackles, Anthony and Kokinis. And they're going to measure for this first down. This might just be one of those series, Doug, and we saw it last year on a couple of occasions where Rusty has the endurance. Just hand it off to him 5-6 times in a row. Just let him rumble.
Oh, yeah. He's a pretty strong young man, he is.
First down.
But it makes a lot of difference, too, when you got some guys up there blocking, giving you a little bit of seams to get through. You know, you look at Sanders and his 2,000 yards, and if you had some guys to block for him, who knows how many he could get.
And those holes a little bigger than seams tonight.
Right.
Parshall up to the line of scrimmage.
Jarvis
going to go left side. Peeks back inside, and there he's hit at about the 25.
See, he needs work on that. I mean, that's because it really slows down with his steps, and I don't know whether he's trying to cut back inside with the inside foot or whether he's trying to cut back in, pushing off the outside foot. I would think the out, never being a fast back, I think the out, never being fast. The outside foot would probably be the one that you should plan to come back in.
Such humility. Very good. 9:13 left here in the first half. Cardinals up 8-0. Driving again. 2nd and 6 on the Albion 24. Snap to Parshall. He's going to give to Reed. And that young line is just doing a great job tonight for the Cardinals as Reed is inside the 20 down to about the 17. And just 18 as they try and hit pay dirt for the second time here tonight. Couple of fakes by Parshall and Jarvis. Touchdown for the Cardinals as he gets around the corner and he's in for an 18-yard touchdown run. It was a fake up the middle, handoff to Jarvis coming back. Cardinals to go for 2 once again. Parshall has him set down. Here comes the snap. Fake into the line. We'll try a pass over to the corner of the end zone. Jarvis incomplete.
Batted away.
Well, Ziegler was also over there in the territory, but yeah, it was just knocked away from Jarvis. It was kind of a floater up in the air and gave the defender from Albion time to get there to swat it away. So we're going to take a break now with the Cardinals in control, 14-0 over Albion. Dan and Reed back deep to take this kick from Howard. He gets it at the 15, fumbles it backwards. He'll have to start out at his 10. He has a host of Coldwater tacklers, and you said hello to Rusty Reed, and he puts him down.
And McKeon.
And that was the deep back Jackson having to eventually pick up that ball. Oh boy. Perry Delyane over on the far sidelines looking at what's going on here tonight. The Wildcats 0-3. It's homecoming, and you're going to the visitors' turf. And tough start for the Wildcats. Just the opposite. A great start for the Cardinals tonight. Everything clicking on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Miller, the quarterback, Nick Miller, brings him up to the line of scrimmage. Reed, Fisher, hand of the running backs. And it's going to be Miller under pressure, and he's sacked. He just gets the ball. Wait, did he complete that? Almost, no. No, that was one of those. That was a lineman at the feet of the lineman. 2nd and 10. I guess they give him the pass. 2nd and 10, incomplete pass. They try a run. The Wildcats do on the far side, right side of the line there. We'll see who the Cardinals are getting up there from the bottom.
Anytime it's in the middle, it's either going to be Anthony or Gleason. I mean, that's just about an automatic.
Yep.
Or Reed.
Number 20, Hannah on the carry.
Gleason in the territory.
Number 69, Nick Anthony.
And Anthony. Clock moving, 7:52 left here in the first half. Cardinals up 14-zip. Albion 3rd and 10. Coldwater's defense, well, they say 3rd and 8 now. Coldwater's defense holding the Wildcats without a first down so far in the first half. And for the first time, we see some split wide receivers for the Wildcats as Miller comes up and looks at the line of scrimmage with a couple of running baks lining up behind him. Fakes into the line, rolls out here to the near side, but no, it's not going to be a fake. It's going to be a fumble on the ground is what it is, but I think they're going to mark it down at about the 20-yard line. So they fake the pass. There's a run, and the ball gets coughed up, but they blow the whistle first. So the Wildcats will be punting it away for the 4th time tonight.
I think that was Fisher got hit in the ground. When he hit the ground, the ball came out. Good call by the official, but boy, that would have been another nail in the old coffin. Cough it up down there at the 20-yard line for Coldwater to have it going in. Now they have at least have an opportunity to punt it out to maybe around midfield.
Well, we see
a lot of time in that huddle. I can't imagine it's going to be a fake. Either that or somebody's fixing their chin strap or something.
Reed and Howard back at about the 45. They're not even to midfield here, and so they'll have that good field possession once again. Long snap count. They're still waiting. There it is. He'll get the kick away. Short one, end over end, taken by Reed at the 45. Cuts back inside 20. Howard, excuse me. Breaks through the middle, breaks another tackle. Still on his feet, inside the 20, inside the 15, down to about the 12-yard line. So
Gleason was leading the way down there.
Well, it's great for the Cardinals what they're doing here tonight, but the crowd here just, I guess they're kind of taking it for granted at this point. Not much. They're just kind of sitting still, watching the Cardinals pile it up on the Wildcats. Jarvis, left side, gets to this corner of the end zone. That's where he's moving, and he scores. 13-yard touchdown run by Chris Jarvis. Cardinals will once again go for 2. Matt Bolton now in at a tight end here to the near side for the Cardinals. But this will be a handoff up the middle to Reed. He gets in and just used strength and power. He was hit at about the 3, but turned around, went sideways, and goes into the end zone. So the Cardinals with 3 touchdowns, couple extra point conversions. 22 for Coldwater. Albion not yet on the board here tonight. Howard has it teed up, ready to kick it away to the Wildcats. There's the whistle. Here's the kick. This one's very short. No, it's long. Comes down to the 15-20. Room up the middle for the Albion returner out across the 30, out to about the 32-yard line. So Albion will start this. I don't even say, I'm going to say start this drive. They haven't had a drive yet. So we'll just say we'll start this offensive possession on their own 32-yard line. Miller still in at quarterback. Nick Miller. Pass out here to the near side, and over the intended receiver was Trippett as they sent the wide receiver handed down the field to clear it out for Trippett. That well overthrown for the intended receiver here to the near side, so it'll set up 2nd and 10. Just seems I can understand with the rush the Cardinals have had and the way the game's gone. You know, Miller's just he barely gets his feet set when he lets the ball go. He's just letting it go in such a hurry.
Not a lot of form there.
5'11", 160 junior is Miller. Clock stops. 6:16 left here in the first half on that incomplete pass. Now they're back to the full house offense on this try. And it's going to be around the end, and that's Hanna. And he's knocked out of bounds over on the far side, and it's going to be Ziegler with, no, excuse me, it'll be Todd Porter with the tackle that time for the Cardinals. And that
Nathan Fost had a shot at him, but the young man just ran away from Nate, and then Porter came up and put the hit on him, put him out of bounds. A gain of looks like it's going to be maybe 2.
Well, you know that sweep when they run it, it's taking so long to develop. It's going from sideline to sideline, not much cutting up field, and that allows the defense to get there, and they did that time. Sets up 2nd.
Well, 3rd. Be 3rd.
I was going to say 3rd. They didn't move the down marker on the sidelines. 3rd and 10.
But there's a motion penalty. I think Coldwater's going to decline it. Yeah.
Call it 3rd and 7 for the Wildcats. Pitch out to Hanna. Trying to get around the side. There's just nothing there as he's run out of bounds by Jake Lenart with no gain on the play. Last week, Sturgis beat Albion 49-12, but that's the same story. I think that they beat Marshall. So here comes the punt. Line drive. It's going to be coming down, fumbled by Rusty Reed as he tried to pull it in.
Got it back. Yeah.
And the Cardinals do get it back. It looks like Reed was able to cover up on his own.
No, he didn't. Somebody came back from downfield.
Number 91, Matt
Shook.
Okay. So that's those line drives kind of hard to pull in, and Reed did have a little trouble that time. But the Cardinals recover. They will start out in familiar territory, and that's excellent field position. They're on their own 47-yard line. Cardinals up 22-0. 5:47 remaining here in the first half. Wildcats still in the 52, but the other linebackers also up close. They've been up tight all night long for Albion. And this will be a run. Comes here to the near side, breaking some tackles. Is Reed flag in on the play, and he's pushed back. Howard with the carry that time for the Cardinals. Howard with the carry. You see one of the Wildcats putting his arms up in the air like what was going on there. Yeah. So
that's not a good sign when you start doing those kinds of things. You've been basic all night long. You've been fundamental all night long. You don't need to get into those babies. I would imagine they'd take that penalty. That's 15 from there. That could be a 16-yard loss for them.
So it'll be 1st and 25 for the Cardinals. Howard, Jarvis, Reed in the backfield for Coldwater behind Partial, the quarterback. Couple of fakes into the line. Partial drops back to pass. Has a man out there. Shook. Catches it to the 40, out to about the 41-yard line. So nice fake and nice delivery, nice catch. The whole package working that time for the Cardinals with the completion. Get some of that yardage back, lost on the 15-yard penalty. They're out across the 40 to the 41.
He stayed in there in the pocket real well, and like I say, he rolled out and put some air underneath the ball, and Matt went up and hauled it in and picked up better than half of that 15 yards.
So Shook the tight end on the far side. Ziegler the tight end here on the near side for the Cardinals. 2nd and 18. Coldwater up 22-0. It'll be run here to the near side to Jarvis. He gets to the outside. 45. Crosses midfield down to about the 48-yard line of Albion. So it'll be 3rd and about 5-6 yards to go for the Cardinals.
Danon Reed, that guy that stands off the line of scrimmage about 15 yards, made that tackle.
I don't know if we got brothers there. Danon Reed and Dominic Reed.
Spelled a lot.
Spelled the same. That's not like the Rusty Reed, R-E-E-D. This is R-E-I-D for the Wildcats. 3rd and 5 it is for Coldwater inside Albion territory at the 48-yard line. 4:41 and counting left here in the first half. 3rd down play comes, finds Reed. Cuts back in the middle, has some room, 40, breaks another tackle, 35, down to the 30-yard line, and Rusty just using his strength. I think this is probably going to be his biggest yardage night of the year for the Cardinals. Brandon Taggart leading the Cardinals out of the huddle. He's over center now for the Cardinals. We'll see what Partial will do with the handoff this time.
Jarvis.
Couple of fakes. Jarvis gets around the corner.
Oh, what a
Does a great move, and he's going down 10. Cuts back inside 5, and he's in for the score. A 30-yard touchdown run.
What a great move. Came back to the inside and then ducked outside, and then he beat that kid. And then he split the 2 defenders down around by the goal line.
Cardinals once again to go for 2.
Reed.
And it's going to be up the middle for Rusty Reed, and it's in. So the Cardinals convert once again. And they're rolling. Coldwater 30, Albion nothing. Everything going Coldwater's way. Homecoming 1998 as Howard has it teed up to kick it to the Wildcats.
Got a route.
Don't have those too many times in Coldwater's favor. Nice end over end kick's going to come to the deep back in the middle for the Wildcats. 15-20, and then he's pounded again. Cardinals getting in some of their biggest hits tonight. Teeing off on the Wildcats. Dennis Jackson with the carry that time, and he takes the punishment. Wildcats send out wide receivers this time. Nick Miller looking up to the Cardinal defense, up to the line of scrimmage. And this will be a run up the middle. A little bit of room for a change here on the near side for the Albion running back. That's Reed with the carry.
That was
Dominic Reed, the running back for the Wildcats.
Joe Wright on the stop along with Gordon Lewis. So there's some new bodies in there with Lewis. Lewis is playing linebacker. Looks like Joey Wright's up on the line of scrimmage playing a nose. Yeah, playing a nose. They're in a 52 defense now. Give them a new look rather than the 44.
A little wing tee action this time for the Wildcats, and they try that, and they try to go on the right side of the line. There's nothing there at all. Aaron Gleason among those leading the tacklers for the Cardinals. Also Ziegler there for
Joe Wright.
Coldwater.
Joey Wright on the bottom.
3:03, 3:02 counting left here in the first half. Yeah, we've done a lot of ball games together, DJ, and maybe we can count on a handful, not even that many, that we have the Cardinals dominate like this. Usually most of the teams in the Twin Valley competitive to a point where they're going to be able to score, but Coldwater tonight just tossing the perfect shutout so far. Wildcats stretch this one out, and so do the Cardinals on the defense. They just can't. Cardinals defense is just doing a great job going down the line of scrimmage, not letting Albion get outside at all.
Lenhart, Lewis on the stop. Just nothing there. They haven't got a first down.
No, not a one.
Not a one.
And I think Perry Deliane just wants to keep that clock moving so he can get off the field, get into the locker room, and sit down for a little while for the half. Todd Porter in there instead of Rusty Reed to take this punt. Doug Howard stays in there for the Cardinals, and we've got an official. No, it's going to be an Albion.
Yeah, they don't have that big back on this side.
The Wildcats get ready to punt it away to Coldwater. Here's the snap. Plenty of time. This punt is a little better. It's going to go over the head of Reed. He comes back in, corrals it at the 30. Stops, goes back up, and then he's hit by one of the Wildcats down at his own 31-yard line. And in on the tackle that time for the Wildcats was Ismael Lopez, 5'11", 185. He's one of the starting running backs. But that time he takes down Rusty Reed as the Cardinals now come back out into the field. 1:51 remaining in the first half. And whether or not they're going 30-0 or 30 whatever to nothing at halftime. And we'll maybe, well, I don't know who would be the quarterback after Doug Howard maybe in the second half. I haven't even gone that far depth-wise. Doug was the backup quarterback. We'll see who else it might be if the Cardinals decide to go that way, even though Marshall would start the second half. And it's going to be Bryan with the keeper this time, and that might have been a busted play because the Wildcats were deep in the backfield of Coldwater. The two running backs for the Cardinals went by way of the far side, and it was Marshall all by his lonesome in the backfield, and he loses about 2.
Yeah, and they all stopped to look to see what happened. I mean, carry out your fake guys or carry out the busted play. I think Andrew Bailey might be the backup quarterback.
2nd and 12 for the Cardinals on their own 30-yard line, and they closing moments of the first half. Back to pass goes Marshall, gets it out there, throws it up for grabs, and that was a pass that he would like to pull back as it should have been intercepted by Danon Reed. Lock stops, 1:14 left here in the first half. And Reed with the carry, breaks through, 40, out to 45. What are you old manning about? I was looking at the...
Tackle made by number 20,
Danon Reed was ready to put the hit on him, and Reed ran over the top of him.
The hitter hit the hit tee.
He's down there holding his finger and looking around thinking, what in the world am I doing out here? The sub come in yet.
Cardinals.
They're all good people out there.
And the Cardinals with a pass. If he can get it away, gets it up in the air down the middle, and he's going to be looking for either Jarvis, and also in the territory there was Bolton. 2nd and 10 for the Cardinals. 1:02 left here in the first half. Coldwater up by a score of 30-0. It's been all Coldwater. Partial keeper here to the near side. Will he pitch? No, he keeps. Cuts back 50. Down hard at about the 45-yard line, and he'll be just short of the first down.
Tackle made by number 40, Travis Fisher, and 82, David Wheat.
Option with Reed right there all the time, and he decided to tuck it and picked up a good 5 or 6 yards when he did, going upfield.
3rd and 1 for the Cardinals. They're on the Albion 46-yard line. We're inside a minute, 53 seconds left here in the first half after the Cardinals called that timeout. We've got Jarvis here split to the near side. Reed and Howard lining up behind Partial.
Trapped.
And just talking about a little decoy out here to the near side probably. Partial with the snap. Reed straight up the middle. Boom. 40, 38. First down for Coldwater. 39-yard line. They spotted Coldwater up by that 30-0 score. There's the whistle. Clock will move once again. Same formation for the Cardinals with Jarvis out here to the near side. Partial fakes into the line with the carry. Now he gets hit again by the same Trippett, and that was maybe about 80% blindside. I think Partial just turned his helmet enough to see that he was going to get hammered.
I'll tell you, I don't know if that was his dad Sam that played back many years ago, but holy smokes.
Well, He's on the far side this time as Trippett and Ziegler, the tight end, on that side. We'll see what the Cardinals develop here on the 2nd and 15. And it's going to be Jarvis. He's got a couple of blockers out in front of him, including Reed. And Jarvis stops behind Reed, lets him get another block, and he's still on the outside. Scampers inside the 35, out of bounds inside the 30, down to about the 20. We'll see where the spot is, inside the 30-yard line.
And here comes Shook into the lineup.
Porter also checks back in for Jarvis, so you'll have Porter and Reed and Howard in the backfield. And they'll send out Ziegler, so it'll be Bolton and Shook in as tight ends for the Cardinals on this 3rd and short. And it is going to be a handoff.
No, he's got it.
No, it's going to be Partial with a great fake, and he's getting it to the far side and inside the 15, down to about the 12 or 11.
First down, 14-yard line, 16 seconds to go.
And they'll start the clock. Cardinals out of timeouts. There goes the clock. Cardinals maybe wanting to get one more score before halftime. They're already up by a score of 30-0 on the 14-yard line of Albion. The Cardinals are. Cardinals fumble on the Partial, will pick it up. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage and actually picks up a couple of yards, but he also will see the clock run out and end the half. Cardinals really didn't need to score there, but they're not going to, of course, go the other way. They were down to the 14-yard line when the half ends. All Coldwater here in the first half for homecoming 1998 state.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Homecoming 1998. Tonight we will be performing part of our Grease show for you. It features a number of songs from the hit movie musical, which was re-released this past year. We think you will enjoy the music as much now as you did 20 years ago when you first heard it. Our first piece is a collection of 2 songs, We Go Together and Grease Lightning. And now, the Coldwater High School Cardinal Marching Band. Grease contains a lot of fun music. We will now perform the toe-tapping, Shakin' at the High School Hop. tonight, who can forget the pink wig and the sad song of the beauty school dropout? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 1998 Coldwater High School homecoming ceremonies. Our first to enter the field tonight is Mr. Ken Johnson, the Grand Marshal for tonight's parade. Escorting Mr. Johnson are coronation attendants Breanne Spangler and Scott Lowry, accompanied by Student Council President Elizabeth Zupan. Breanne is the daughter of Randy and Karen Spangler. She's 3 years old. And Scott is the son of Thomas and Lori Lowry and is 4. Following Mr. Johnson, our reigning 1997 homecoming king, Joe Bragg III, and Queen Sarah Bouse. Joe is the son of Joe and Diana Bragg. Sarah is the daughter of Mike and Missy Bouse. Both currently attend Western Michigan University. Tonight, we would like to honor a man who was an important influence on so many lives at Coldwater High School. Instead, we are honoring Mr. Ken Johnson. KJ was born in Montana quite a few years ago, the son of gold miners. He had several interesting childhood experiences that involved dynamite. As a child, Ken was also adopted into the Sioux Indian tribe. As he grew older and realized that there were few successful careers in either gold mining or being an Indian, Ken decided to attend the University of South Dakota to become a history teacher, which coincides with one of the great interests of his life. KJ taught at Dowagiac High School for 5 years, then took a sabbatical to work for the National Park Service in Washington, D.C., guiding visitors through the Washington Monument. But his love was always teaching,
and he came to Coldwater High School in 1972, where he taught for the next 25 years before retiring last June. In his years of teaching government and history at CHS, KJ has made innumerable friends among students, faculty, and staff. He is known for his quick wit and captivating stories of an interesting life, which has nearly ended on a variety of occasions because of his total ineptness with power tools. Today, Ken is enjoying his retirement while he teaches a political science class at Kellogg Community College and attempts to build a new garage behind his house. Fortunately, he has kept his Blue Cross coverage. Personally, I have found Ken to be a concerned and caring friend, a great mentor who loves Coldwater High School, and our ever-popular department chairman who never called any department meetings. Tonight, on behalf of the entire 1998-99 student body, Student Council President Elizabeth Zupan will present Mr. Johnson with a special tribute of our appreciation. Thank you, and happy retirement, Ken. And now, the introductions of our 1998 homecoming court. Our first freshman couple tonight is Erica Moyer and Lance Kibalowski. Erica is the daughter of Bill and Diane Moyer. Lance is the son of Lynn and Vicki Kibalowski. Our second freshman couple is Lindsay Warner and Andy Post. Lindsay is the daughter of Phil and Lisa Warner. Andy is the son of Bill and Jerry Post. Our first sophomore couple is Carrie Gatke and Nathan Davenport. Carrie is the daughter of Mike and Chris Gatke. Nathan is the son of Fred and Susan Davenport. Our second sophomore couple is Amanda Labadie and Dustin Rose. Amanda is the daughter of Bill and Marion Labadie. Dustin is the son of Thomas Rose and Jackie Lyon. Our first junior couple is Nicole Anderson and Ben Lyon. Nicole is the daughter of Barb and Scott Anderson. Ben is the son of Richard and Carol Lyon. Our second junior couple is Jennifer Petsko and Corey Parker. Jennifer is the daughter of John and Maureen Petsko. Corey is the son of Ed and Jackie Parker. And now, we'll introduce our senior candidates from whom will reign the 1998 homecoming king and queen. Our first senior couple is Heidi Flegel and Steve Parker. Heidi is the daughter of Gary and Julie Flegel. She is vice president of the senior class and plays varsity tennis, volleyball, and golf. She's a member of Interact, the Free Methodist Youth Group, and the marching band and flag corps. Heidi plans to attend Cornerstone College, possibly to major in elementary art education. Steve is the son of Pam Parker. He plays on the varsity football team and is a member of Interact. Steve plans to attend the University of Michigan to major in computer networking. Our second senior couple is Andrea Moyer and Randy Lowndes. Andrea is the daughter of Bill and Diane Moyer. She participates in marching band, competes on the varsity track team, and is a member of Interact. Outside of school, she participates in the St. Charles Youth Group and Peer Ministry Team, and the 4-H Odds and Ends and Dairy Clubs. Andrea plans to attend college and pursue a career working with handicapped children. Randy is the son of John and Neville Lowndes. Randy is the president of the senior class and competes on both the varsity cross-country and track teams. He is president of Interact and a member of the Coldwater Nazarene Church. This past year, Randy won an all-expense-paid trip to Germany by placing at the top of a national German test. Randy plans to attend Wheaton College in Illinois to study German. Our third senior couple is Katie Olmstead and Matt Kokenis. Katie is the daughter of Jim and Jill Olmstead. She is captain of the varsity tennis team and a member of Interact. She plans to attend Central Michigan University to major in sports medicine. Matt is the son of Kevin and Cheryl Kokenis. He is a member of the varsity football team and participated in the Say No to Sex program at the middle school. Matt plans to attend Ferris State University and law school to pursue a career in international law. Our fourth senior couple is Polly Stevens and Travis Roby. Polly is the daughter of Mary and Ralph Stevens. She is the Sergeant-at-Arms of Interact and a member of the National Honor Society. She has participated in the school musical for 4 years. Polly plans to attend the University of Michigan to major in international business. Travis is the son of Ed and Mary Roby. Travis competes on the varsity basketball and track teams. He's vice president of the National Honor Society and treasurer of Interact. He attended Michigan Boys State in the summer of 1998 and plans to attend college to earn a degree in engineering. Our fifth senior couple is Sarah Zimmer and Jack C. Billsborough. Sarah is the daughter of Larry Zimmer and Terry and Ed Dobson. And coincidentally, Terry was homecoming queen of the of CHS in 1973. She's a varsity cheerleader and member of Interact. Actually, Sarah is. She is photographer for the school newspaper and plans to attend college to major in photography. Jaxie is the son of Jim and Jackie Billsborough. He competes on the varsity cross-country and track teams. He is president of the National Honor Society and vice president of Interact. He was also a member of the 1998 National Championship American Bar Association mock trial team. Jaxie plans to attend the University of Michigan to study law. This week, the classes have been competing to determine which is the most spirited. The final contest tonight included the floats displayed outside Cardinal Field. The final float results are: in fourth place, the freshmen; in third place, the sophomores; in second place, the seniors; and winning the float competition is the junior class. In the most spirited competition, the results are as follows. In fourth place, with 1,021 points, was the freshman class. In third place, with 1,315 points, the sophomore class. In second place, with 1,910 points, the junior class. And this year's most spirited class, with 1,951 points, the senior class. For the past 2 weeks, the student body has gone through a selection process to determine this year's most spirited classmates. Before you are some of the finest CHS has produced. Now the voting is done. 1997 King Joe Bragg, assisted by Scott Lowry, will crown our 1998 homecoming king, Steve Parker. And now, 1997 homecoming queen Sarah Baus and Brianne Spangler will crown our 1998 homecoming queen, Andrea Moyer. Congratulations to Andrea and Steve. The Student Council would like to extend its appreciation to the many people who made this year's homecoming a success. The staff and administration of Coldwater High School for their patience, the student body for their spirit, and Cooley's Jewelry for their generosity. Thank you all for attending Homecoming 1998. We hope to see you again in 1999.
Ready to get the second half underway. Here comes the kick. Line drive straight down the middle. An excellent kick, and the Cardinals are going to let it go into the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and the Cardinals will start out 1st and 10 on their own 20. And we speculated a bit, and maybe we'll see it come to fruition here in the second half. Maybe if the Cardinals keep it in control as they are now, if we might see that third-string quarterback who you said for the Cardinals was Bailey.
I believe it was. I think Andrew Bailey, wearing number 14, he was playing catch down there with the partial. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Coldwater goes down and scores. We're going to see a lot of new people out there, and well-deserved.
But for now, the Cardinals will start out with their same backfield as they had when they started the game, and that's going to be Jarvis and Reed and Howard in the backfield behind Brian Parshall, the quarterback. The Cardinals start out 30-0, and they start out right where they left off with Rusty Reed with the carry, pulling his way across the 25 out to the 30, close to a first down.
Torres is in there at that fullback spot.
All right, there we go, and looking for Reed. They do look. They're built about the same way. They're both big.
Rusty's a little taller. Rusty's a little taller. Rusty's on the sideline. Maybe we'll see Rusty play more defenses this half than offense.
Okay, well, let's double check and maybe see if we also.
No, that's Jarvis and
okay,
Howard.
We've got Jarvis and Howard. So it is just Chris Torres. And by the way, he started out the season starting at running back for Coldwater before he was going both ways, but now just on the defense. And it's going to be Jarvis trying to get to the outside, and the Albion defense for one of the few times tonight able to contain Jarvis as he is stopped after a gain of about 4.
Yeah, 4 yards. And here comes Skinner coming in. And here comes Porter coming in. So I would imagine Jarvis and Howard will probably come out of the game.
Here comes Jarvis. Here comes Howard out. Aaron Skinner, the 5'7", 140-pound senior. And Porter, he has seen quite a bit of action throughout the season, alternating from time to time at the running back spot for the Cardinals.
Probably Torres again.
2nd and 5. Cardinals on their own 35.
Nope. Going to go with Porter.
And he cuts back here to the near side, gets out to about the 39-yard line. It'll set up 3rd and about 3 for Coldwater.
They still have their starting line intact out there right now.
3rd down for the Cardinals and their own 4th.
3rd and about long 1.
That's
and in comes Howard for Skinner.
Taggart still in at center. Renner and Parker at the guards, and Anthony and Kokenis at the tackles for the Cardinals on this 3rd and 1. Cardinals at the 39-yard line. It'll be a running play. And it'll be first down yardage for Coldwater as Parshall with an excellent fake, and we have a whistle. And
this guy's blowing it dead over here, and Parshall's the one's got the ball.
Yeah,
hello.
So we'll see what that call is.
Whistle, and the inadvertent whistle. Thank goodness we got a first down with it. Yep, that's what you do. Officially say my My fault. I don't know if that means that.
So you spot the ball where the inadvertent whistle is blown.
Right.
Okay.
And it was good enough for the first down.
Excellent fake by Partial as they had the running backs go into the line, and he comes here to the near side, and that's part of his package. Hard to see who has the ball, but Partial has had a great night on the ground here tonight for the Cardinals, who pick up that first down. They're on their own 44-yard line. Partial up to the line of scrimmage, and this will be a run to the left side, and not much room there for the Cardinals.
Oh, that was Torres up the middle, I believe. And he was stopped that time. We do have Gordy Lewis in there at that left guard in place of Renner.
Well, Jarvis comes back in now for Coldwater. Porter will come out. Howard's still in there in the backfield for the Cardinals. Up 30-0 at the half, and that's our score with 9:36 and counting left here in the third quarter. Partial up to the line. Albion almost jumps off sides, and we do get that whistle. Far side of the line for the Wildcats, maybe getting into that neutral zone.
Might have been Trippett. He was a little excited. On that far side, he's at 88, that defensive end, probably their best athlete, like you said.
Haven't said his name yet here in the second half until right now, but he's been on most of the big hits, been head hunting Partial all night long.
Got a backup center coming in now. Taggart's had a helmet problem. And that center is Joey Wright, 57.
He was also one of the outstanding defensive players, just a sophomore for the Cardinals. So he'll snap it now to Partial, 2nd and 3 after that 5-yard penalty. The Cardinals now inside of Albion territory. It's going to be Reed here to the near side. Howard with the carry here to the near side across the 45. He picks up a first down about the Albion 43-yard line.
Well, I'm telling you, those guys come out of there and they get those arms together. And when they do it right, you don't know who has the ball. I was looking for Jarvis on the outside, and I saw Reed running so hard up or Torres, whoever was in there. Is that Reed in there now? Or no, it's Torres up the middle. And I thought he even had the ball. And then back here's Howard, who's laying on the ground with the ball.
And we're up here. Maybe they're closer on the defense. They can see it a little bit better, but still outstanding faking. But this is Torres with a big hole up the middle, 35. 30 down to about the 27 of Albion as the Cardinal steamroller rolls on.
Doesn't make any difference who's out there. I mean, they're just knocking people over and they're just finding the holes. Well,
there's only thing that stopped Coldwater tonight, a couple of penalties and Trippett. Those two, that's just about it. The rest of the defense for Albion, they're pretty much not there tonight. So Partial up to the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10 on the Albion 28-yard line. And this carry is going to be to Partial. Boy, I thought Howard had it for a minute, but it's going to be Partial here to the near sidelines, 20 down to about the 16-yard line. Well, because, they carry out the fake and they put the ball, they put the ball right underneath their chest and cover it up, and that's the same fake they do. Either they have the ball or they don't have the ball, and so almost you don't know until you see where the tacklers are. But we've seen a number of Cardinal players tonight who didn't have the ball get tackled as well.
They wrap their arms so well and, like you say, bring it into their body.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Coldwater. They're up 30-0. 1st and 10 on the Albion 15-yard line. 8:07 left here in the third quarter. Partial with the snap. He'll give to Torres. Has room on the right side. Powers inside the 10, inside the 5, down to about the 3-yard line of Albion.
Bolton down there at tight end, blocking along with who's that guy over there on that side? New man. Oh, Shook, 91. Shook was also down there throwing some blocks.
1st and goal for the Cardinals on Albion's 3-yard line. Coldwater taking this kickoff and just marching down. 7:39. Partial taking his time going up to the line of scrimmage. He has them set down now. And there's movement in the middle of the line. We couldn't tell for sure whether they were drawn or one of the Albion. It looks like the Albion or Wildcats are signaling that one of the Cardinals moved.
The nose guard's trying to make his case, and he's seeing he's moving that ball a little bit.
Well, either way, Albion will lose on that, so it's half the distance, so make it 1.5 yards to go now on 1st and goal for the Cardinals. Already Jarvis tonight, he's in there. He's got 3 touchdowns. Torres and Howard lining up in the backfield now behind Partial. Cardinals going for their 5th touchdown of the night. Albion all bunched up there at the line of scrimmage. The Cardinals are down. Partial gets ready. He takes the snap, handoff to Torres up the middle. Touchdown, Coldwater. 1 yard plus touchdown run for Chris Torres. And the Cardinals now tack it on up to 36 points.
Just power football on that series. That's all that was.
7:13 left here in the third quarter. And plenty of time now, if they haven't already gotten it done, for those folks coming back here tonight for homecoming to reacquaint themselves. Some of the buds coming back from college and hanging out here now with the game well in hand for the Cardinals. Cardinals to go for the kick this time, and it's going to be Shook to try. First time this year, and it's up and it's good.
All right.
That Shook with the extra point conversion. So everything going right for the Cardinals here tonight with 7:13 left in the third quarter. Our score, Coldwater 37, Albion nothing. Tommy Sosa hitting home run number 66 tonight for the Chicago Cubs down in Houston, and so he's taken the lead. And I guess I can say, Doug, I've heard maybe more people saying that they want Sammy to win it than Big Mac.
Well, Mac sure got a lot of press when he was going for it, and Sammy just kind of eased along there, catching a little bit here and there. But I don't know. It's one of those deals. I guess the most shocking thing is having Ripken sit down to me.
25-30, and then another big hit for the Coldwater Cardinals as the Wildcats return the kickoff out to close to the 30-yard marker with 7:03, 7:02 and counting here in the third quarter. And the Wildcats now will try and once again get something going on offense. If you're joining us late, the Cardinals dominating with the score, but also dominating with the defense as the Wildcats held without a first down in the first half. And they're going to send the big man on defense out here to the near side as a wide receiver, and that's Trippett. Also a receiver split out to the far side, and this will be a running play. And for the Wildcats out to about the 34-yard line. We'll see who's got the carry that time, and it's going to be the fullback Travis Fisher with the carry.
Joe Wright and Reed on the stop. We do have a lot of new people in there. Skinner's in there, the cornerback I see on this side, and number 41, Eric Sussex, is in there at a deep safety on the right, replacing Howard. 44 is Nathan Post. He's been in there. He's at that other corner. Ziegler and Reed are the linebackers.
Miller, the quarterback, still for the Wildcats. Pitch out here to the near side with some running room around the corner. Goes Hanna, and he may have the Wildcats' first down of the night as he's tackled by Ziegler out here to the near sideline, and he does pick up Albion's initial first down of the evening. Comes here with 5:49 left here in the third quarter.
Brandon Taggart's getting a little work. He's on that far end. He's been playing mostly offense all year at the center spot. So he's in for Shook, giving Shook a rest on that far side. Stevens is on this side. And then the two reliable young people is Anthony and Gleason. There's a big hit right there.
The Albion running back hit at the line of scrimmage, then pushed back for a little or no gain.
Ziegler got him.
Number 70, that's Ziegler. No, excuse me. Yeah, that's right.
Ziegler, 42 is
Taggart. Taggart also made or helping in on the tackle.
Stevens.
Okay.
70.
So the Wildcats now second and 10. No gain on that play. 4:56 left here in the third quarter. This will be a pitch out to Hanna, trying to find some room around the ends. And he gets a little bit of running room out to the 45. Wildcats slowly but surely approaching midfield, closest they've been to that territory all night.
Porter and Reed and Wright. Eric Davenport's checking in. Davenport's coming in for, who might that be? He's going to play that far end, and out comes Taggart. Also,
Howard goes back in for Sussex.
Sussex coming back, yeah.
So call it 3rd and 5 for the Wildcats on their own 45-yard line. Just trying to make the final score respectable. Miller with the toss out here to the near side as he was trying to hit Trippett. Coming up on the defense was Skinner. Had been quite a handful for Aaron to have to take on Trippett, but the pass once again thrown behind Trippett, and none of the passes from Miller have been anywhere near the receiver here tonight for the Wildcats, so they're going to have to punt it away. That was 3rd and 5. And with the score, Doug, being what it is, 37-0, we have the continuous running clock.
Right. That's exactly right. Steve Merritt's in there for Anthony at that left tackle.
And we've got Howard and Porter back to receive this punt for the Cardinals. And it's going to come back to Porter. Loses control of it, and he finally picks it up. Reed, excuse me, it is Reed. And he breaks some tackles at the 15, 20. Has some room out here to the near side. Cuts back inside 30, 35, 40, 45, midfield. He may go all the way. He's got a blocker out in front of him. It's Most, and it will be Reed going all the way.
Oh, they're going to get it.
And we got a flag.
And that's terrible.
Well, that was Howard in the vicinity. And
he was running right along beside him, and they're going to keep him from scoring by throwing that flag. That was a controversial flag. I thought Reed was going to get stopped back there, and his strength just busted out. And then once he got out there, Albion just overran the play. They saw the fumble, and they were going after it.
Well, he lost control of the punt as it came down at about the 15. It rolled behind him down to about inside the 10-yard line, and that's where he circled back. He was on the far side, circled back here to the near side, and got the phalanx of blockers out in front of him. Was able to come down here along the sidelines, but not to be.
He got partial down here with a cold pack on his shoulder. Seems minor enough, but yet, keeping him out of the ball game, and he's bringing in Andrew Bailey. Bailey's going to be the quarterback.
6-foot junior, 140 pounds, saying his first action tonight for the Cardinals at quarterback.
The running backs are Skinner, Torres, and Sussex.
Joey Wright, the center. Bailey under center for the Cardinals. 1st and 10 on the Albion 35-yard line, where they mark it after that penalty, and it's going to go to Torres, and he's hit down at about the 30-yard line. Sussex, a 5'10 junior, 155 pounds. And
this is good, giving the sub backs a chance to run behind the first team line. That's great.
Mike Mobilia in at a tight end spot here on the near side. Mike, a 6', 160-pound junior for the Cardinals. Clock still moving. 2:10 left here in the third quarter with the Cardinals in control, 37-0, and the clock will continue to move except for timeouts.
And scores.
And this will be Skinner with some room on the left side, but he fumbles it away, and it's going to be covered up by the Wildcats. Skinner fumbles at about the 30-yard line, and it's recovered by Albion, and it's Trippett who's done the job all night long on defense, so you figured he'd be the guy around the ball for the Wildcats, and he recovers the fumble, and they do stop the clock there on the change of possession and the fumble. 1:50 left. So the first miscue of the night for the Cardinals with the turnover.
And they come out with basically the same set, although Howard's coming out to play that corner.
And we also have Porter and Howard are the deep backs. We've got Skinner here on the near side with one of the receivers. Miller drops back to pass, rolls out of the pocket, just heaves it up in the air for grabs, and Skinner with the interception.
Got it.
And he's going to mark it down here. We had the knee down on the ground, and the Trippett was back as the intended receiver. Howard was also in the territory. Howard was guarding Trippett, who was getting up slowly at about the 40-yard line. But Aaron Skinner with the interception for the Cardinals, coming at 1:20 here in the third quarter.
That's the way to get it back. Fumble it, go back out, intercepted. Let's go again. Nice job. Good coverage. Kid threw the ball pretty well.
And he was, rolling here to the near side and let it go in the air about 35 yards. But the Cardinals just playing center field on that defense, make it easy to pick off. But it was the good coverage for Coldwater. Now again, Bailey in at the quarterback for the Cardinals. 1st and 10 on their own 38-yard line. Torres. And this is going to be Torres, and he's going to be tackled in the backfield and pushed back. Trippett's there, and also along with Travis Fisher for the Wildcats.
Fisher made the play. There was no doubt about that. Trippett cleaned up, but he made the play. He stopped him. Drove him back about 4 yards. He got it to the line of scrimmage.
And Bobelia bringing in the play for the Cardinals. Checking out will be Bolton. Just trying to see, Doug, if there's any other new names we can bring you for the offensive line besides Joey Wright at center.
Well, they got Merritt out there. I think Merritt's playing one of those. Maybe not. He's defense, though.
2nd and 11 for the Cardinals. Bailey looking over that defense with a long call. They're moving around on defense now. Here comes the handoff, and it's going to be to Torres. And pickup of about 2.
Anthony's still there. Kokinis is still there. Kokinis. Albion's got a player down. Joey Wright's at the center.
We have an injured player on the field.
Here comes Griffin. Griffin's going to come in and play a guard.
Score Albion 37. Coldwater.
We'll take a break here with an injury on the field, and
number 36 is down out there, Ben Buskirk.
but it also comes at the end of the third quarter with our score after 3, Coldwater 37 and Albion nothing. Rolling 37-0, and the introduction of the cheerleaders now on the field as the Cardinals break the huddle. They'll be 3rd and 7. The Cardinals will be on their own 43-yard line.
Need a sub for him. Here comes out the young man. Big old number 76 looks like, or maybe 77.
Robert Harris, 5'9", and listed here as 280. So the Cardinals face a 3rd and 7 as we get the fourth quarter underway. And it'll be Bailey with the keep, and he's thrown down hard right at the 40-yard line as he had the keeper rolled out to the far side, and he's thrown down for a loss of about 4. So the Cardinals send 6 players out on there with the punting team, and they haven't punted maybe a couple of, maybe this might be the first punt tonight.
I believe it
It must be, considering Albion didn't pick up their first down until just their previous possession. So the Cardinals with Rusty Reed in there to take the snap at about his 27-yard line and punt it away. Trippett is back there as one of the deep men for the Wildcats, and also Hanna back deep for Albion. Rusty gets the snap, gets the kick away, a very high kick. It's going to be coming back to Harris, calls for the fair catch at his own 20-yard line.
Nice kick.
So Rusty trots off, good feeling, good kick away, and he's got, I don't know if he got up, did he have 100 yards plus in the first half?
Oh, he's got it.
Yeah.
No,
90, short.
93.
But he's
that was close to a 40-yard kick, 38 yards.
Plenty of hang time as well.
Right.
Brand Ziegler going to be calling the defensive signals now for the Cardinals. Breaks the huddle. And we'll still see
Davenport's on this side. 59 out there. Steve Merritt's tackle.
Miller still going all the way. Nick Miller at quarterback for Albion tonight. Running play. Little room on the left side of the line.
Been a little room all night.
Oh, man.
Little room all night.
Number 40, Travis Fisher on the carry.
Well, they got to be happy with this after the
Tackle made by 56, Derek Davenport.
ball game they played against Harper Creek and then come back and having this type of a game. You could have a letdown, but these kids are improving all the time. Next week we go to County Western, who's also a very improving football team, even though they're getting beat by Sturgis. And then when Marshall comes in here.
2nd and 7 on the 23. Wide pitch goes to Hanna. Tries to find some room on the far side. Ziegler's over there to push him out of bounds for Coldwater. Maybe a pickup of 2. But it was obvious from the early going there. There was not going to be any letdown here tonight for Coldwater. And Jamie preached that all week long. And as you heard maybe on our pregame show or maybe on the coach's corner earlier in the week, that he was going to keep the Cardinals focused. Want them to have fun during homecoming week, but also stay tuned in on football. And we didn't want to let the excellent performance go to waste at Harper Creek, even though it was that loss. It carried over to this week, and the Cardinals will emerge here tonight with that 2-1 record in the Twin Valley as the Wildcats face 3rd and 4, trying to get just their second first down of the night, and they are close to it with a run out across the 30 to the 32. And it's Hanna with the carry, and it looks like they're going to move the chains just enough to pick up the first down out across to the 33-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
I think that's their second first down, I
That's
believe.
it. Second one on the night. This will be a swift moving fourth quarter with that mercy rule, so to speak, on the clock. Will continue to run with the Cardinals up 37-0, and a big hit on the runner.
Right. And who's the other guy right there beside him?
Number 2, Dan Reed.
Was it Ziegler?
Reed with the carry, and 5'10", but a slight 5'10" at 135 pounds, and he was spun back hard with that tackle as he got out to the 35. And he's going to check out now. Reed will get a little breather after that hit. We've seen that it's been the hardest hits we've seen, Doug, all season here tonight, without a doubt.
There have been a few of them, you betcha.
It's going to be 2nd and 8 for the Wildcats. And it's going to be the carry out across the 40, out across the 45, picking up some first down yardage for the Wildcats. And with that first down carry is Dennis Jackson. And so they pick up their 3rd first down. So a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel now for the Wildcats.
Did a spin there to pick up that first down. Otherwise, I don't think he would have got it. But hard run. They just can't throw the ball.
Oh, there's a fumble on the play, and the Cardinals are going to recover inside the Albion 40-yard line.
No, Shook. He didn't get in there.
Yeah, it was. Yep, Matt Shook with the fumble recovery, and just nothing close at all on that as Miller turned around to hand off to one of his backs, and Shook had great penetration. The ball pops out, and he's right on top of it. So the Wildcats turn it over. Coldwater will have another chance on offense. Bailey comes back in at quarterback for the Cardinals. He's been in on every series except for the first one here tonight in the second half for the Cardinals when they scored. Yeah, let's see.
I see these young guys take it down and pop it in there.
Full house backfield behind Bailey. We'll check those running backs here in just a moment for the Cardinals. And this will be a running play. I think it's Porter with the carry.
Sussex, 41.
Sussex, excuse me. That's right, 41. Porter is 40, so it's Sussex with the carry down to about the 35-yard line. Bailey coming over to get the play from Jamie Spray. We'll send in Nate Fost, I guess, with the play, and we'll see who checks out. Nate will get some running back work now for the Cardinals.
Oh, new guy, 18 coming out of there. Nick Smith. We didn't make his appearance there.
That's the first one of the season, I believe, for Nick for the Cardinals. Nick, 6 foot, 168-pound junior for Coldwater. 2nd and 7 for the Cardinals, up by a score of 37-0 with 6:16 left in our ball game. Albion almost jumps off sides, but they get back, and it's going to be Fost with the carry. Breaks a tackle at the 30, down to the 25-yard line. Just power football up the middle. It doesn't make any difference who's in there for the Cardinals or what the numbers are. That's just been their standard play tonight, and it works again for another first down for the Cards.
Napier checking in, too. He's checking into the line, and out comes Anthony.
Napier, a 6 foot, 220-pound junior for the Cardinals. On the 30-yard line of Albion. Bailey has him set down. Here comes the snap. It's going to be to Fost with the carry. Drags a couple of tackles, a couple of yards, and Trippett is there once again.
Smith back in. Fost out.
Okay. Well, if we get in this situation again, I think what we'll do, Doug, is if let's hope the Cardinals are in this situation again. We'll just check off the players as they come in and see if just about everybody gets some playing time here tonight for the Cardinals, and it looks like that's pretty much the case. 4:58 and counting. Clock continues to move. 2nd and about 8 for the Cardinals on the Albion 23-yard line.
You know, you bring in these guys in the center and quarterback, the exchange is great.
And it's going to be Sussex with the carry. Nice blocking on the right side of the line. Allows them to get inside the 20, down to about the 15, to about the 14-yard line. Close to first down yardage, and the official says, yeah, move the chain. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Cardinals at the Albion 14-yard line as Fost checks back in.
That was Gordy Lewis downfield there, putting some hit on some people.
Sussex checking out. I think we've got Skinner back in the backfield.
Back, right. Yep. And Sussex, and then Fost in the middle.
Cardinals looking to get their 8th touchdown on the night. And it's going to go to Fost up the middle. Yeah, and there's a big pile up there. Not much room, but a pickup of a couple. Remember to stay tuned for our Great Lakes scoreboard after Jim Measl's post-game report, and that goes until the midnight hour with scores, highlights of all the high school football games, everything going on in high school sports from throughout Michigan. A very entertaining show. They get calls in from various sites, talk to some of the coaches, and get an insight on what's happening with high school football around Michigan. And we'll call it 2nd and 8 for the Cardinals. They're on the Albion 12-yard line. Bailey with the snap. It's going to give to
Sussex.
Sussex. Thought Fost had it for a moment, but it's right. It's Sussex, right side. We'll see who's checking in now. Adam Cooper coming in the game for the Cardinals. The 5'10", 160-pound senior as Skinner checks out.
It'll be third down for the Cardinals at the 10-yard line.
Well, we can't let this stall with these guys here. They got to have some glory.
Cardinals 3rd and 6 on the 10-yard line of Albion.
I see Pafka down on the sideline. He's not dressed tonight. Must be a little bit banged up. John Pafka.
Running play here to the near side with some room coming to the corner. 10-5 touchdown for Coldwater.
Just brought him in. Coop.
And Adam Cooper, the 5'10 senior, scores, and Cardinals 43 points on the night now. Well, that's not a bad deal. Coming in, get to hand the ball for your first time and score. Says, hey,
this is good fun, man.
I can do this.
2:37 in the fourth on that score. How far did Coop go on that? 10 yards? How was it? I wasn't paying attention.
10 yards.
10-yard run around left end again.
That's been a popular spot for the Cardinals. Cardinals to go for 2 to try to get to 45 on the night.
Quarterback
sneak. He piles in, cuts back. Does he get in? Bailey is stopped just short. A valiant effort that time, as there was nothing on the initial snap of it. He bounced to the outside, not able to get in, but nonetheless, with 2:37 remaining here in our game, the Cardinals lead 43-0. And for the Wildcats, they'll fall to 0-4. Coldwater will even up its record at 2-2, 2-1 in the Twin Valley. Next week at County Western. Just leaving a good feel here for all the Coldwater fans and boosters and everybody connected with Homecoming. And once again, your king, Steve Parker, the queen, Andrea Moyer. As the ball is teed up, Doug Howard getting ready to kick it away for the Cardinals. Good kick's going to come down for the Albion receiver at the 20. Comes out to the 25, bounces free from one of the tacklers as he crosses the 30. And there he's down at about the 32-yard line as the clock moves on, and the Wildcats will let it all out here maybe just to try and get that shutout off the board. But for the quarterback, Nick Miller, for a lot of their players, but for Miller, he's going to need a little bit of the jacuzzi tomorrow and rest up a little bit over the weekend. But these are young folks, as we know, Doug, and they bounce back rather
Hope he
nicely.
doesn't carry out groceries up there, because that young man's dead tired. Tomorrow's going to be a long day if he's got to go do that.
Yeah, he's up to the line of scrimmage, gives a handoff.
Nothing. Look at Joe.
Oh, man, Joe Wright just takes the ball carrier, and I think that's one of the first times we've seen with the carry tonight for the Wildcats. Let's see who that is. That's a Patrick Sweeter, 5'9", 170, and a senior. And yeah, that was Wright just stood him right up at the line of scrimmage for. He gave him forward progress of about 2 yards.
Just switched into a 4-3 now.
Miller going to try and complete a pass. Steps up in the pocket, lets it go, and plenty of air underneath this one, but about 15 yards over the receiver's head, and the receiver just puts his arm around and says, yeah, it's out there. I'm not going after it. One of you guys go get it. That intended receiver for the Wildcats was Lopez. Didn't have a chance on that one. He just kind of jogs back to the huddle. No hurry to get back there as the clock moving inside a minute here at Cardinal Field.
Cooper was the closest to that, and that was 10 yards over his head.
And Lopez now is, he's going to have to hurry and get off the field, and he does, as Miller has him up to the line of scrimmage. A little bit of a mix-up, but they're going to get
looks like phys ed ball.
Going to get the play off. Miller dropping back to pass. Pump fakes once. He better get it out of the way because he's going to get tackled, and he does get it away, and it's going to be caught by Trippett. Was he inbounds? I guess he was down at about the 30-yard line.
Sussex went for the interception, and the kid threw it over his head.
But it's going to be a first down. Their third of the night, I believe. Maybe their fourth for the Wildcats, but the clock's going to continue to move. They're going to have to hustle to get up to the line of scrimmage, and this will be a pass as the Wildcats will see the game end here on this last play. Let's see what happens. Two receivers out here to the near side. Miller drops back to pass, rolls out here. He just gets it away, and it's complete to one of the backfield men. Breaks a tackle at the 30, breaks another tackle inside the 25, down to the 23 as the clock runs out. And the victory bell will ring here tonight at Cardinal Field as Coldwater improves to 2-2 on the season. A very impressive homecoming outing for the Cardinals, shutting out the Albion Wildcats by a score of 43-0.